The sun is moving toward a big change in its magnetic field. In fact, the poles are about to switch, and that could have a major effect on perhaps our entire solar system. According to NASA, a change that could quite possibly, if all goes, well, we don't know for sure, but if there are amazing solar storms, electronic communications could be threatened. To give us some sense of what is happening here in the solar maximum, what is at risk here, in your judgment, potentially, as we watch the poles of the sun actually reverse?
How that affects us is really something that many people don't know.
There's a growing mystery along the bay in Maryland and Virginia. A large number of dolphins are dying, and marine experts are trying to figure out why.
Dozens upon dozens have washed up on beaches just like this. Up and down the East Coast, it continues. Bottlenose dolphins are dying and washing ashore at an unusual rate, especially in the Virginia section of the Chesapeake Bay. Now, the scientists say they don't know what this is, and that's a cause for concern.
We don't know what's going on right now, and we're working with National Marine Fisheries Service to try to figure it out.
The news of a large-scale die-off is unsettling.
To Eden, where a massive sinkhole has opened up.
It's 10 feet wide by 21 feet long, and there's concern that if it doesn't get fixed soon, it's just going to keep getting bigger. After heavy rainfall Monday night, the ground collapsed and the sinkhole reopened.
The talk of western Kansas is about a sinkhole near the town of Sharon Springs.
How and why it appeared remains a mystery. People have been flocking to this remote area to see it for themselves. The hole is some 200 feet across and 90 feet deep.
A few days ago, the earth opened up and left this giant sinkhole right in the middle of Dalton Haas's pasture. Some 200 feet across, 90 feet deep. People are amazed at the size of this hole that seemed to show up overnight.
Floods caused by incessant rainfall in the Shantrapur district of Maharashtra state in West India have killed 20 people and displaced more than 8,000 others. The water levels are far higher than normal.
Heavy rains continued, resulting in flood-like situations. The streets were flooded with water entering the houses, forcing locals to evacuate the area in the middle of the night. The situation worsened when floating dead bodies were entangled in the nearby swamps and water plants. These degenerated bodies polluted the area with a foul smell.
Houses were inundated, vehicles turned over, home furniture, utensils and pets swept away. The shops were also badly affected and shops are under floodwater. Refrigerators, freezers are lying outside shops swept away. And there is no rescue.
The panic and havoc seen in the Russian Urals last winter when a meteor the size of a house exploded in the skies, well, we could be set for a repeat. Scientists say the huge rock might not have been flying solo as first thought, but rather as part of a group of asteroids which still pose a threat to Earth.
And that is the fear, is this went undetected. So that's why scientists are trying to figure out if there are more possibly on their way. And what they found is nearly 20 different asteroids that are on this similar path. They span between 5 and 200 meters across.
I hate to be specific here, but do you have any idea about a timetable here? I mean, do you know, are they saying they might impact when and where? Or
a lot of these, they were only observing for 34 days. They need 2 years to actually see when something could ever hit Earth.
So as good as the world's telescopes are, national security and all that kind of stuff, they can spy on you doing anything anywhere, but they can't tell us when these guys are going to hit.
It's disheartening, isn't it?
It's pathetic.
Something big is about to happen on the sun. According to measurements from NASA-supported observatories, the sun's vast magnetic field is about to flip. It looks like we're no more than 3 to 4 months away from a complete field reversal. This change will have ripple effects throughout the solar system. Both poles will be reversed. A reversal of the sun's magnetic field is, literally, a big event.
This is the face of our changing world. Temperatures spiking, oceans heating up, climate records, and ice melting. What once was startling is now the new normal. From the air to land and the sea, every indicator pointed to global warming. It's the speed of change that's most striking. Scientists are still not sure what it will ultimately mean for our planet.
That there were dozens of solar rescues across Middle Tennessee. More than 4 inches of rain had fallen, which continued Thursday afternoon as flash flood watches remained active. Scattered showers and storms are predicted for the rest of the day.
A mystery over the skies of Collier County. Strange lights captured the attention of people in Naples, and those lights were captured on security cameras.
Whatever the showing of lights was, came and hovered over this pool behind me for nearly 30 minutes. Residents say they've never seen anything like it before. Experts, they're not quite sure what to make of it.
I've never seen anything like this.
Monday night, security officer Deborah Lee Thomas was watching the camera feed from behind a Gulf Shore Boulevard condo building just across the street from Venetian Village. She noticed strange lights swoop in over the pool.
And I realized that it was something that was not normal.
Here's what she saw. At first glance, it almost looks like a saucer-shaped object up top. Then it goes down into the pool and expands like a web, moving back and forth. After nearly 30 minutes, it starts to disappear, dipping in and out of the pool.
It was down on the ground, but some of that webbing was longer and it made a funnel down into the pool.
We sent the video off to MUFON, an UFO organization in Ohio. They're analyzing it, but they don't think it's a hoax.
I've never seen anything like this. The electrical charges coming from it are just truly unbelievable.
But what it is remains a mystery for now. Now, we did show the video to a biologist at the Conservancy of Southwest Florida to see whether or not they thought it was an animal. They don't believe it's an animal. Meanwhile, officials at MUFON tell me this is one of the most fascinating videos they've seen in a while. Coincidentally, this pool is closed for the next few days.
Waters are rising, and the map says it all. Now more than half the country under threat of floods, including flash floods.
Emergency crews actually had to use boats to rescue about 50 people from inside the store.
And it's not over. 48 hours of rainfall.
People say the crazy bird event began as early as 7:30 or 8 o'clock this morning. They started dropping from the skies. A blanket of black. People who work in the area say the birds were flocking in a bizarre manner.
And then I was looking up, and then one fell right in front of me.
The birds littered the streets near the intersection of King and Dufferin.
Scores of streets in Japan underwater. Deadly flooding has killed at least 5 people in the northern part of the country.
The Japan Meteorological Agency told residents in the region to take immediate action to protect their lives after nearly double the monthly average of rain fell in a matter of hours.
They are unimaginable pictures. Cars washing down Highway 24, bobbing and surging along the muddy river. We don't know what happened to the people in the cars seen floating down the highway. At least 20 cars were caught in the flooding near Cave of the Winds.
A huge scare overnight at this resort, just 10 minutes from Disney World. While visitors were relaxing, a giant 60-foot sinkhole suddenly opened beneath them.
One woman was sitting in the tub, and the tub just levitated, and that's when she just grabbed a pair of shorts and came out with nothing.
The sinkhole nearly devoured one 3-story building and continues to sink another. Witnesses say they heard loud noises and windows cracking.
Six people have been killed in a volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Mount Rokatenda spewed ash and rocks into the air over the weekend, leaving 4 adults and 2 children dead. An earthquake measuring 6.3 in the Richter scale has also hit the country this weekend. It jolted the Maluku Islands.
powerful earthquake in New Zealand. It registered between 6.6 and 6.9. It hit in the South Island region near Wellington.
And some pretty incredible video in southwest Japan. Day turns into dusk in a flash. This volcano explodes, shooting plumes of ash 3 miles into the air, caking a city in dust, shutting down trains. This thing has erupted 500 times since the beginning of the year.
Waterlogged Manila residents try to stay afloat as most of the Philippine capital is flooded. Heavy rains pounded the city. Weather forecasters have issued their highest rainfall warning, adding that severe floods and torrential rain are likely to continue.
Floods in northeast China have claimed the lives of 37 people, but the floods, caused by days of heavy rainfall, have also damaged swathes of farmland and facilities across the region.
South China's Guangdong province is witnessing its worst flooding in 50 years as Typhoon Utor brings days of heavy rainfall.
More than 20,000 people have been evacuated from flood-hit areas in Russia's far east after heavy rain.
As far as the eye can see, floodwaters submerge swathes of eastern Russia.
And all around you can just see rooftops and treetops sticking out from above the water.
Water levels have reached 6 meters in some places. The floods, brought on by unusually heavy rains, are the biggest to hit the area in 120 years.
We've seen a number of sinkholes this year, but nothing like this. Everything vanishing in about 30 seconds.
A stand of trees seemingly melting into this swamp in Bayou Corn, Louisiana, is being swallowed into a massive sinkhole, sucking everything down with it.
A sinkhole striking again. This time it's an entire lake that gets sucked underground and fish just left flopping around in Ocala.
His neighbors watched the sinkhole swallow up water.
You're so intent on watching it that you don't really realize what's happening. And then we looked over and of course there was no more water anywhere in the pond.
At around 6 o'clock, rain and hail pounded parts of Littleton, flooding the area with nearly 4 feet of water in some places, and leaving behind nearly 6 inches of hail.
I would definitely say it looks a lot like winter in the middle of August.
One of the largest wildfires in California history continues to burn, reaching the size of Chicago. Almost 150,000 acres have been engulfed by the blaze.
A smoke plume so huge it can be seen from space.